How you doing, fam bam? This is Chris Muzo here. It's going to be an exciting video today because we're going to install a NVMe inside of a ASUS Rog Ally. We have the Sabrent 2230 SSD here. As you can see, it's 2 terabytes. It is a QLC drive, so if that does matter to you, they do have other drives out there that is TLC. For example, you have Western Digital, TEAMGROUP, and there's several other manufacturers that do have drives produced that are 2230 that are TLC 3D NAND. Those will be in the description box down below. And any of the things that you do see that you do want in this video, I also have them in the description box down below. So of course you're going to need this SSD in order to be able to install into your ASUS Rog Ally. They have a free software out there called Macrium Reflect 8, and that's what we will install in the ASUS Rog Ally so we don't lose any of the information that we currently have built up for those who don't really want to start fresh and rely on ASUS ROG Cloud. The other things you do need is you're gonna also need a tool set. It doesn't have to be exactly this tool set, but I usually recommend something like this. iFixit tool set's really great, has everything you could imagine or possibly imagine that you could want when it comes to taking apart any type of electronics. In this toolkit, it does include a guitar pick that is recommended to take apart the ASUS Rog Ally instead of using any type of pry tools or a screwdriver because you don't want to damage the chassis of your ASUS Rog Ally. You're also going to need a size 0 Phillips screwdriver in order to remove the backplate of the ASUS Rog Ally to access the NVMe. There's also going to be several things that you do need as well. One of them you already have, and which is the ASUS ROG Ally's adapter. Their 65-watt adapter here, or if you have a 65-watt adapter, this is recommended to plug in for the BIOS. Otherwise, you can have issues getting into the BIOS in order to boot Macrium Reflect. You're also going to need a backup drive for those who want to save all their information without losing anything. Something like this, which is a Samsung's T7 External drive. It is an awesome drive, super fast and reliable, and you never have to worry about losing any information, and it's super lightweight. Definitely highly recommend it if you're looking to back up all your information. And for those who don't want to risk going into the cloud recovery, in order to do that, you're gonna need a hub. You're gonna need something like the Anker hub right here that I have. It's really inexpensive. It's only about 25 bucks to get this. It'll have 2 USB ports in the back of it. As you can see, I have a USB drive there already. On the front side, you do have other options. You do have power delivery, so you're able to plug in your 65-watt adapter into there, so that way you can get power to your ASUS Rog Ally. And then you do have the SD card slot, even a USB-C port in order for you to connect to your Rog Ally. And most importantly, you can access this into the BIOS so that way you can boot directly from it, because you're going to need it when we go into Macrium Reflex Recovery. If you want to skip any of the chapters, make sure you go down into the timestamps right down below, as I have everything listed. If you're not interested in the whole recovery bit and you just want to see the physical installation of the NVMe, just simply go to the timestamp down below. When you enter the provided link that I do have in the description box down below, it should show Reflect 8 Home Trial. It used to be free, but it looks like now that it's going away. Instead, just download the free trial. That'll be good enough. And we're going to download the Reflect 8 trial for personal use. Once you put your email in, just go to your email address to download it. Once you access your email, it should look something like this. And all we have to do is complete the registration here. And now it will download Macrium Reflect. After it downloads, you're just going to simply open the file, and we're going to install it to the PC here. Click yes, and now let it install. Next, I accept. Next, 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 and install. Now, the good thing is if you choose to get Sabrent's drive, it does come with the Cronus software for free. And if you have a Cronus software, you don't have to worry about the free trial ending or anything like that. But for this video's sake, we're just going to do it strictly off of Macrium Reflect 8. But maybe in another video, I'll show you how to use a Cronus backup in order to install a new NVMe. So we just got to restart this PC. So we're going to do that. Make sure to have your USB C hub ready here, as you can see, and just plug it up top. You're going to also want to make sure you have your power delivery plugged in when you are ready to do this, because you're just about to back up the drive and it's going to take a little time for this. Just make sure you plug it in the power delivery side and not the 5 gigabit side. You can see it's right because we do see the device is charging. So next step is we're going to open up Macrium Reflect here. Have your SSD ready to go. Just plug it in. All we have to do is we're going to back up the drive. Just go to create an image and we're going to go down to folders and we're going to make sure to go into the external drive, which is the Porter drive, and go to ASUS Ally here. And now you do have options. You could go to advanced options here. And when you do, you can also set your encryptions, passwords, all different types of things if you choose to. You could do either intelligence scan or you could do an exact replica of what you have NVMe wise. We're going to also verify the image here. So we're going to click OK. Then we're going to go to next. You choose to encrypt your data information as well. We're just going to run the backup. And all we have to do is just wait and sit back.
A few minutes later.
So it looks like we're all good to go. It looks like the image has completely successfully completed inside of the SSD, the Porter drive that I currently have. And also, if you want to make sure that the backup is okay, you can also save it into another folder just in case. It's a smart thing to do just in case if for some reason that image just doesn't quite work, then you have a backup image in order for you to restore everything that you had. So we're just gonna go ahead and close this, and make sure you don't forget to install your USB drive here. As you can see, I have another Samsung drive right there. It's a 32 gigabyte fit drive, it's called. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a rescue disk. So you're gonna go to rescue, and we're gonna put it right here, removable USB flash drive. We're gonna build it. Now, if you do run into any issues with the USB drive, I do have the link right above me, just in case if it's not formatted correctly. It's a really easy fix, and it only takes a few minutes to fix the USB drive. But if it's all smooth operation from here, where you don't have to worry about it, where you have no issues creating a rescue media, then just continue on. It looks like our boot media has successfully been created. Now we're gonna restart the ASUS Rog Ally into BIOS mode just to make sure it's working correctly. Last thing you wanna run into is having some sort of boot menu issue. All right, let's go ahead and restart this to see if it works. You're gonna wanna hit the power button and volume down, and it should boot right up into the BIOS. Okay, so now we're into the BIOS. We're gonna switch up the boot priority. Make sure you put it as Macrium. Now we're just gonna save and exit, click OK. Looks like we're all good here. Now let's see if the image is here just to make sure everything's working correctly. Okay, looks like it's in here. All right, so now all we have to do is waste the battery down. We're gonna exit out of this program here. And now we just got to switch up the boot priority again. All right, so we're gonna go put this as boot manager, save and exit. And now you're just gonna practically boot up into your ASUS Rog Ally and just wear the battery down to like 20%. And then you can take it apart. All right, looks like we had enough Diablo here. Let's check out the battery life. As you can see, it's about 18%, perfect. Now what we're gonna do is shut down the device, and then we're gonna start operating on it and replacing the SSD finally. So once it shuts down, you're gonna wanna make sure to unplug everything to it. You wanna make sure you don't have any power to your ASUS Rog Ally. And as we have a very soft surface here, and we're going to simply flip on its back, make sure to avoid it to press any power buttons up here on the top. Grab your guitar picks, grab this punch because this is going to be pretty useful, and then also grab the size 0 Phillips head. So first thing you're going to do is remove these 6 screws in the back here. Grab the guitar pick and get ready to separate the chassis. You're gonna feel the body start to separate on its own. Once you start to pick it out enough, it's gonna just pop open on its own. And then from there, just separate both halves. This is the ground screw right here. So once it's completely disconnected, the device will be unable to power. Next, grab your punch tool or a really small flathead and just slowly push out this battery cable. You don't want to pull on the wires because you do not want to disconnect the harness. Once it's completely out, just pick up the black film with your fingers or the guitar pick and grab the size 0 Phillips screwdriver in order to take out that screw. Once it's completely out, make sure you place it somewhere safe where you don't lose it. And then once it is completely out, slide the SSD out of its slot, and then you're going to be ready to install the new NVMe. It'll be nice to add some breathing room into this ASUS Rog Ally, and it's such a beautiful NVMe. I can't wait to put it in. Slide the NVMe until you kind of hear a really small click. And once you hear that click, you'll see the hole is lined up. Now grab the screw and just simply reinstall it back into the hole. It has a nice little cutout to where you don't have to lift it in order to install the screw. Forget to plug in your battery cable. You'll be furious if you put together your ASUS Rog Ally's chassis without plugging in the battery harness. So do not forget it and make sure you put this ground screw in last. I usually do a star pattern when it comes into installing the back of the ASUS Rog Ally. It makes it a lot more simpler because that is what is necessary to power on your device. Make sure that you have your hub properly connected to everything. Make sure you don't forget your USB drive and your expandable drive, your portable storage. And also don't forget to power up the ASUS ROG, otherwise it will not go into the BIOS. It will absolutely refuse to. So when you start this up, don't forget to hit the volume down button and hit the power button. Once it powers on, you can let go of the power button and then it will enter the BIOS. Once you've entered the BIOS, you can swap out your drive. You want to make sure to put it onto the actual drive, the USB that you have it on, and then from there, make sure you hit save and exit, and then click a yes. So first things first, you're going to browse for your image up here on the top. Go to wherever you have your image saved. For us, it's going to be the ASUS Ally folder. And here is our image. Click OK. Now we're going to hit that restore button right there. Now it should look something like this. What you'll do is you're going to drag each one except the C drive, and you'll see why. So first, Drag down these files one by one. And lastly, you put the C drive. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click fill space. And when you hit fill space, make sure you go use up the whole 2 terabytes. And then you're going to hit next. It'll ask you to restore all your folders and everything. Just click OK and just let it do its thing.
2,000 years later.
So it looks like it's all finished installing. All we have to do is reset it. Just remember to enter the BIOS again. Just hit the volume rocker down in order to do it. So let's just exit out here. Now we can put the Sabrent drive up onto the top. And now it looks like so far we had a successful install. So if you found this content very useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody else who is interested in upgrading their storage and you want to show them how easy it is on an ASUS Rog Ally, make sure you share this video with them. And also, if you want to be part of the Big Wonderful fan band, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button for more. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for all the newest updates. Make sure you follow my Twitter handle right here, as it is the same as my TikTok and IG as well. Let me know what you think. If you're interested in getting Sabrent's drive, make sure to go down to the description link down below. Or if you have interest in another drive, make sure you share it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo, signing out.